So who makes the best guitar strings? Is it Ernie Ball? Is it Diodario? Is it Elixir? Or maybe even Cleartone? For me, it's none of the above. Welcome back to Man the Helm. If you guys don't know, my name is Jake. I'm a guitar player, but I also run a small podcast called Man the Helm. Talk about life, music, lessons learned, good and bad times, and all that good stuff. But today we are going to talk about my favorite string company. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon so you get notified of all my future videos. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. You already know what to do. I have a company that I really love when it comes to guitar strings. And just to preface this, I am not endorsed by this company. I do not get anything for free. Anything I have from that company, I have bought with my own money. Just to get that out of the way. So who is this company? None other than StringJoy guitar strings. The finest guitar strings on the market, in my opinion. And quite a lot of other people too. And I recently posted some stuff on TikTok about StringJoy. And I had a few comments that were kind of like, well, I'd love to know what makes them so great. And my response is usually the same to those comments. It's like, well, it's not one thing. It's a combination of a lot of little things that make a phenomenal product. So today we're going to talk about 5 things that I love about StringJoy. Number 1, the variety. You can go on StringJoy's website right now and you can make a custom gauge of guitar strings. Whatever you'd like. No questions asked. They'll package them up for you and they'll send them right to you. But if the custom route is not the way you want to go and you don't want to get super nerdy into it right away, they have such a great variety of just standard packs, from the signatures to the Broadways to the Orbiters to the Naturals on their acoustic side, the Foxwoods and the Brights as well. And on top of that, they have the signatures and the Rangers for bass guitar. Now for me here lately, I've been using the Orbiters. The 11 through 50 for my Les Pauls, then the 10 through 48s for, like my Tellys and Strats and stuff like that. And, it's the balanced mediums and the balanced lights. For me, it just kind of evens out the tension, and it feels similar if I'm picking up a Les Paul to a Strat or a Telly with a different scale length. It kind of gives me that. The heavier on the Les Paul, and then when I pick up that Telly or Strat, it evens things out, for me at least. Number 2, talking about evening things out in tension across the neck. One of the things that StringJoy does that is different from other companies is whenever they're winding their strings, they take their core wire and they actually put it under tension. So they're stretching out that string similar to how it would be on your electric or acoustic guitar. And then they wrap that core wire with your wrap wire. Now, why would they do something like that? So a lot of companies, and I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but what they'll do is they'll just, get their core wire, wrap it, and call it good. Well, what happens is when you take that guitar string and you put it on your guitar and you put it under tension, these small little gaps will start to come between, the wraps in the wrap wire and exposing the core wire. Nothing that you'll probably ever see. It's not that big, but it's big enough to get that dust, that dirt, that grime from your hands onto that string, past the wrap wire into the core wire, and it'll deaden your strings more quickly. With StringJoy, you do not have that issue. Number 3, the way they coat their coated electric and acoustic strings. So we kind of already talked about what I like, and like I said, I'm really digging the Orbiters, and they are the coated electric strings. They also have the Foxwoods, which are their coated acoustic strings. Now, what makes StringJoy different with their coated strings, so once again, not trying to throw any, shade at any companies, but what a lot of companies will do with their coated strings is they'll take their core wire, take the wrap wire, make the string, and then coat the entire string with whatever they're coating it with. I don't know personally what they are. I'm not that deep into the strings. But what StringJoy does differently is they only coat the wrap wire, and then that wrap wire goes onto the core wire. So for me, you have a more even distribution of that coating, and it doesn't feel like slick or slimy like I've played with other, one brand in particular. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure you guys can guess. It feels like a normal string, but it lasts so much longer than any other string that I've had a chance to play. Number 4, made in the USA. So for me, they're just right down the road. They're in Nashville, Tennessee, which is awesome for me, but it's awesome for you guys too because, made in the USA is always a plus. I've had the opportunity to hang out at a few events with some of the StringJoy team, including Scott Marquart, and you can tell the atmosphere. It's so fun and inviting, and I can't imagine that, that place isn't fun to work at. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are plenty of days where people have their bad days. But overall, everyone that I encountered on, from Scott, the guy that's running the place, all the way down to some of the people that are just kind of working for him, they really have a passion and drive. And that wouldn't come without a positive work environment. And you can tell that through the quality of strings that get put out. Number 5, speaking of quality, anything that does not meet the cut does not get packaged into your strings. Now, you might think that that's probably a lot of waste on StringJoy's part. Here's the thing that's really, really awesome that they do, in my opinion. They team up with a nonprofit called Strings for Hope. Now, what is Strings for Hope? Strings for Hope is an organization that provides help for people with addiction, human trafficking, domestic violence, all that really horrible, nasty stuff, and they get them back on their feet. And one of the ways they do that is they help them re-enter the workforce by learning the jewelry trade. And what do they use for their jewelry? None other than that waste that we kind of talked about, the stuff that doesn't make it to your strings. That's what they're using. StringJoy donates that to Strings for Hope. It's a super awesome organization. I'll have everything linked down below if you want to check out anything with Strings for Hope. Now, that is just a very short list of things that I really appreciate that StringJoy does. StringJoy does so much more. There is so much that I'm not even capable of talking about because I really personally am not that deep into the string game. But their website is a wealth of information. You can find anything from there, from tension calculators, custom gauges that you can make, blogs, videos, lessons, stuff like that. It's a wealth of information. So I'll have all that linked down below. Check out StringJoy and give them a try. Also, last little bit, I was talking with my mom and pop shop, and we actually worked out a way to get them to become a StringJoy dealer. If you have a mom and pop shop that you'd be interested in getting StringJoy associated with, I'll have that email linked down below. They can send all the information, and maybe you can get some StringJoy stuff into your local mom and pop shop. But if that's not your thing either, totally cool, because their website's phenomenal. They're also at Sweetwater, so there's no reason why you shouldn't give them a try. All applicable links for StringJoy, String for Hope, all of my stuff too will be linked down below, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day and go play your guitar.